we're appointing New York's first Chief Service Officer, the first job of its kind at any city in the nation. And today I'm pleased to announce that we have found the perfect person for this important new job. Her name is Diane Billings-Burford. You should know that Diane has also served as Director of External Affairs for an organization called Achievement First, which runs 7 charter schools in Brooklyn. And prior to that, Diane worked for many years at Prep for Prep, a wonderful group which has put thousands of young low-income New Yorkers on the road to academic and professional success. In addition, she has also worked as a middle school history teacher and a lawyer in the private sector. Is there anything you haven't done?
This is a new position. I am the first in the nation. NYC Service oversees 38 initiatives that are about increasing strategic volunteerism throughout our city to help during this economic downturn. The advisory system at Prep for Prep are a group of alums that come and they go through training, and they are there to support the young people. They are responsible for knowing how that child is doing every day. The role of the advisor is to be able to say to the young person, I've walked down this road before. It's mountainous and it's steep, but I promise you, you're going to get to the top, you're going to see the other side.
My name is Ann Carmen Almanord, and I grew up in Brooklyn, New York. I work in the project finance and development group, so I help people kind of build really large projects like power plants and hospitals.
I had the privilege of being Ann Carmen Almanord's advisor. We are Columbia Law alum. We are attorneys.
My parents are from Haiti. They came here with very little, but they have achieved a great deal. And they've taught me it's very important to try and help those who may be less fortunate, or frankly, to help anyone with a need. Recently, I went on a trip to Haiti with a delegation of lawyers, community organizers, and health professionals.
I think she's a person of incredible integrity and incredible passion.
My advisor was Diane Billings-Burford. She was an awesome force. I was going through the interview process with the independent schools, and I just was having a really hard time kind of figuring out what school would be right for me, and I told my parents I was done. I was quitting the program. They would say to me, remember your advisor, remember Diane. At that point, she was a student at Yale, and they would just kind of use her as an example of what I could accomplish with Prep for Prep. 15 years after she was my advisor in the preparatory component, Diane was really instrumental in helping me get my law school applications together.
The day that Ann Carmen began law school at Columbia was, I think it still chokes me up to think about it now, because I know that all of us, we have choices we can make, and she's made some really fabulous choices.
In law school, I started interviewing potential prep candidates. It's really wonderful to meet the next generation. You can just see the spark of what is going to make them succeed, even though they are so young. I was the advisor to Maxine Mitchell. I remember Maxine coming into the program, and she was a little shy at the beginning, but over the course of the summer, she blossomed, and it's really amazing to think that 10 years later, she was the head advisor.
The prep experience has made me who I am. I think without prep, I wouldn't have been able to go to the Village Community School. I would not have been able to go to the Spence School, and then I may not have been a college graduate of Duke University. I made a goal with one of my fellow advisors that we would try to get a 3.8 for our entire junior year. And I made a decision that I would continue to do that and try to get one for my senior year as well, and I was able to accomplish that. My plans for after Duke include applying to PhD programs in English literature. I've always known that I wanted to be some form of a teacher, and being in the college experience and serving as a TA helped me explore my passion for higher education. During my first summer at prep, my advisor was Ann Carmen. Every student has that one dark night in the prep experience, and I think mine was one night when I was working on, I think, some history reading, and I was in my room, I sat down and I made up my mind that I was no longer going to be a member of the prep program. She spoke to me and she was like, no, you're not leaving, you're just staying here, this is what you're going to do. Just the idea that someone was that willing to tell me that I couldn't give up, that I really didn't have a choice to give up, I think was incredibly important for me.
Maxine Arlene Mitchell.
It was probably the most difficult but the most rewarding experience was being the head of the summer advisory system. And I know that I have touched the lives of 400 plus kids, and that's incredibly important to me.
Not only are the advisors alums, but we're so far down the line now that the current advisors can point to their advisors who can point to their advisors and explain to a student that that is actually the path that you are on. That is where you are headed.
Prep has really been a positive force all around in my life and my career.
I can't think of one thing that my prep experience has not been influential in my life.
Without prep, I wouldn't have had anything.